So, coronavirus infectious disease 19, SARS coronavirus 2 disease is basically caused by this COVID-19 virus, which having a shape resembling the crown. That's why it's called corona, which means it is like crown. And protein structure outside the envelope is E protein, S protein, and M protein. So now we will move to the clinical sign and symptom of the disease. Most common sign and symptom is fever, cough, myalgia or fatigue, sputum production, headache, hemoptysis, diarrhea, and dyspnea. So some atypical presentation like diarrhea, hemoptysis, headache, these can occur in coronavirus infectious disease also. So the timeline of coronavirus 2019 cases after the onset of illness means once you have a infection with coronavirus, after 7 days of admission you can have some problem which can occur due to virus. After 8 days patient can develop dyspnea, and after 9 days patient can have acute respiratory distress syndrome, which is a very trouble complication of this virus. So once the patient infected with virus, we cannot discharge him immediately, because even after 8 days patient can have dyspnea and acute respiratory distress syndrome, and patient can require intensive care treatment. So these are some few other sign and symptom of virus: fever, cough, shortness of breath, nasal ache, confusion, headache, sore throat, rhinorrhea, chest pain, diarrhea, nausea, vomiting. So the coronavirus transmission, how this virus transmit from one person to another person. First, by infected droplet. The droplet is of more than 5 micrometer, which travel less than 1 meter, and aerosol is less than 5 micrometer, which travel more than 1 meter. So we are advised to remain more than 1 meter from a infected person or normal person. Contact with other patient which having this virus by hand and surface. So this is a diagram in which an infected individual cough and sneeze, which produces droplet. The size of droplet is more than 5 micrometer, and which travel less than 1 meter. And the droplet nuclei, which is of smaller size, travel more than 1 meter. So it can be airborne, and a suspected individual can get infected by this droplet nuclei and droplet. We can also get infection from direct contact with the hand, and indirect by the patient by infected bed, linen, and something else. So the survivability outside the body is 1 to 2 days on non-porous surface, 8 to 12 hours on porous surface. Currently this information on novel coronavirus 19 is not clear. How many days survive? The incubation period, current estimates of incubation period of SARS coronavirus 19 range from 2 to 14 days. So this is the transmissibility. And epidemiological presentation of illness is mild case is 81%, severe 15%, and critical are only 4%. Epidemic curve in India is median age is 37 years, range from 20 to 77 years, males are 59%, proportion with history of travel 83%. So what is the surveillance case definition of novel coronavirus? A person with acute respiratory illness of any degree of severity who within 14 days before onset of illness had any of the following exposure: close physical contact with confirmed case of novel coronavirus infection while that patient was symptomatic, or healthcare facility in a country where hospital associated novel coronavirus can be reported. The disease occur in a healthcare worker who has been working in an environment where the patient with severe acute respiratory illness are being cared for without regard to place of residence or history of travel, or the person develop an unusual or unexpected clinical course, especially sudden depression despite appropriate treatment, without regard to place of residence or history of travel, even if another etiology has been identified that fully explains the clinical presentation. What is a close contact? Close contact means healthcare associated exposure, including providing direct care for novel coronavirus patient, working with healthcare workers infected with novel coronavirus, visiting patients or staying in the same close environment of novel coronavirus patient, working together in close proximity or sharing the same classroom environment with novel coronavirus patient, traveling together with novel coronavirus patient in any kind of conveyance, living in the same household as novel coronavirus patient. Epidemiological link may have occurred within 14 days period before or after the onset of illness in case of under consideration. Uncomplicated illness means there is no much complication like fever, cough, short throat, nasal congestion, malaise, headache, muscle pain, malaise. Elderly and immunosuppressed patient may present with atypical symptoms. These patients do not have any signs of dehydration, sepsis or shortness of breath. Mild pneumonia, patient with pneumonia with no sign of severe pneumonia. Child with non-severe pneumonia has cough or difficulty in breathing plus fast breathing. Fast breathing is less than 2 months, more than 60, 2 to 11, more than 50, 1 to 5 year, more than 40, and no sign of severe pneumonia. Severe pneumonia is adolescent or adult fever or suspected respiratory infection plus one of the respiratory rate more than 30 breaths per minute, severe respiratory distress or SpO2 less than 90 on room air. Child with cough or difficulty in breathing plus at least one of the following: central cyanosis, SpO2 less than 90%, severe respiratory distress, grunting, very severe chest indrawing, sign of pneumonia with a general danger sign, inability to breastfeed or drink, lethargy or unconsciousness or convulsion. Other sign of pneumonia may be present: chest indrawing, fast breathing, less than 2 months, more than 60, 2 to 11 months, more than 50, 1 to 5 years, more than 40. The diagnosis is clinical. Chest imaging can exclude complication. So now the acute respiratory distress syndrome. It is a very feared complication. Onset new or worsening respiratory symptom with 1 week of known clinical insult. Chest imaging, radiograph, CT, bilateral opacity not fully explained by effusion, lobar or lung collapse or nodule. Origin of edema, respiratory failure not fully explained by cardiac failure or fluid overload, need objective assessment to exclude hydrostatic cause of edema. Infection prevention and control. Now the prevention of infection is important. A scientific approach with practical solution designed to prevent harm caused by infection to patient and healthcare workers, grounded in principle of infectious disease, epidemiological, social science and health system strengthening, and rooted in patient safety and health service quality. Who is at risk of infection? Is it doctor, nurse, health patient which is not infected previously, and the fourth class or the implies. Benefit of infection prevention and control, IPC: protecting yourself, protecting your patient, protecting your family, community and environment. IPC goals in outbreak preparedness: to reduce transmission of healthcare associated infection, enhance the safety of staff, patient and visitor, enhance the ability of organization, health facility to respond an outbreak, lower or reduce the risk of hospital itself, amplifying the outbreak. General advice by COVID-19: avoid close contact with people suffering from acute respiratory infection, frequent hand hygiene, especially after direct contact with ill people or their environment. People with symptom of acute respiratory infection should practice respiratory etiquette, wear a medical mask, seek medical care for advice. Elements of standard precaution: first is hand hygiene, respiratory hygiene, etiquettes, PP according to risk, safe injection practice, staff management and injury prevention, safe handling, cleaning and disinfection of patient care, environmental cleaning, safe handling and cleaning of solid linen, waste management. So the hand hygiene, the best way to prevent the spread of germs in the healthcare setting and community. Our hands are our main tool for work as healthcare, and they are the key link in the chain of transmission. Hand hygiene should be given by caregiver, instrument, cell phone, medication, door handles. So these are the WHO 5 movements of hand hygiene. First, before touching a patient. Second, before clean aseptic procedure. Third is after fluid exposure. Fourth is after touching a patient, and fifth is after touching patient's surroundings. Hand hygiene, how? Use appropriate product and technique. Alcohol based hand wrap product is preferable if hands are not visibly soiled. Rub hand for 20 to 30 seconds, soap, running water and single use towel. When visibly dirty or contaminated with proteinaceous material, wash hand for 40 to 60 seconds. So these are the 8 and 11 points of hand rub and hand wash. If you are using alcohol based 70% alcohol based solution, then you have to rub in these 8 steps, and if you are using soap and water, you have to use these 11 steps. These steps are very important to complete clean your hands. So the respiratory hygiene and etiquette: reduce the spread of microorganisms that cause respiratory infection, cold, flu. Turn head away from others when coughing, sneezing. Cover the nose and mouth with tissue. If tissues are used, discard immediately into trash. Cough, sneeze into your sleeve. If tissue is not available, clean your hand with soap and water, alcohol based product. Do not spit here and there. Promoting respiratory hygiene: encourage hand washing for patient with respiratory symptom. Provide mask for patient with respiratory symptom. Patient with fever plus cough or sneezing should be kept at least 1 meter away from other patient. Post visual aid remaining patient and visitor with respiratory symptom to cover their cough. Risk assessment and standard precaution. Risk assessment: risk of exposure and extent of contact anticipated with blood, body fluid, respiratory droplet and open skin. Select which PPE items to wear based on this assessment. Perform hand hygiene according to WHO 5 movements. Should be done for each patient each time. Make this routine. Principle of using PPE: always clean your hand before and after wearing PPE. PPE should be available where and when it is indicated in a correct size. Select according to risk or per transmission based precaution. Always put on before contact with the patient. Always remove immediately after completing the task and leaving the patient care area. Never reuse disposal PPE. Clean and disinfect reusable PPE between each use. Change PPE immediately if it becomes contaminated or damaged. PPE should not be adjusted or touched during the patient care especially. Never touch your face while wearing PPE. If there is a concern and breach of these practice, leave the patient care area when safe to do and properly remove and change the PPE. Always remove carefully to avoid self-contamination. Environmental cleaning: it is important to ensure the environmental cleaning and disinfection procedure are followed constantly and correctly. Thorough cleaning environmental surface with water and detergent and applying commonly used hospital level disinfectants such as sodium hydrochloride 0.5% or ethanol 70% are effective and sufficient procedure. Medical devices and equipment, laundry, food service utensil and medical waste should be managed in accordance and safe routine procedure. Triage: prevent overcrowding, conduct rapid triage, place ARI patient in dedicated waiting area with adequate ventilation. In addition to standard precaution, implement droplet precaution and contact precaution. Ask patient with respiratory symptom to perform hand hygiene, wear a mask and perform respiratory hygiene. Ensure at least 1 meter distance between patients. Set up the area during triage. Ensure adequate space for triage. Maintain at least 1 meter distance between staff screening and patient staff entering. Waiting room chairs for the patient should be 1 meter apart. Maintain one-way flow for patient and for staff. Clean syringe for symptom and direction. Family members should wait outside the triage area. Prevent triage from overcrowding. So these are the doffing and donning sequence of PPE. So doffing and donning and other will cover later on.